I never imagined I would see the person I trusted most in the world act like a stranger in my own home. But that night, everything I thought I knew about my wife, about us, and about our life together was stripped away in the harshest way possible. It started as a normal Friday evening. She came home from work, tired but cheerful. I had planned a quiet night together, just us, a dinner at home, maybe a movie. I had bought her favorite wine, laid out her favorite snacks, hoping to create a moment for us to reconnect after a long week. I didn't expect the argument that followed. She said she wanted to go out and have fun, and I refused. Not harshly, not controlling, I just wanted her to stay in, to enjoy a calm evening together. But she didn't take it that way. "I can't just stay at home every night. You're so controlling sometimes," she yelled, her voice rising. I tried to reason with her, tried to explain that it wasn't about control, it was about respect, about being present with each other, but she wasn't listening. She stormed out, grabbing her purse and coat. I begged her not to go, pleaded for her to stay, but she slammed the door and left anyway. Hours passed. I tried calling, texting, no response. Every notification ping made my stomach tighten, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. The night stretched on, long and empty. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. All I could do was wait, hoping she would realize her mistake and come home. Then, around 2 a.m., I heard the faint sound of stumbling footsteps outside the apartment door. I opened it to find her, drunk, swaying, barely able to stand. Her makeup was smudged, her hair a mess. She had been to a club against my wishes, against our agreement, against the boundaries we had tried to set as a couple. I'm sorry," she slurred, her voice almost incomprehensible. "I just wanted to have fun." She tried to walk in, but she couldn't. She crawled on her hands and knees toward the door, laughing at her own clumsiness, but the laughter was hollow, empty. I helped her to her feet, guiding her inside, trying to keep calm, trying not to let my anger explode. I looked at her, seeing the woman I loved and the stranger she had become in the same moment. Years of trust, patience, and care seemed to vanish in that drunken haze. And deep down, I realized that this wasn't just a one-time mistake. It was a pattern, an indifference to my feelings, a disregard for our marriage, a willingness to put fleeting pleasure above our relationship. I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I just sat her down and waited for her to sober up. I wanted to talk, to understand, to demand accountability, but she was incapable in that moment of hearing anything but her own excuses. The morning came, and with it, the clarity I had been avoiding. She didn't even remember much of the previous night. She laughed it off, called it just having fun, nothing serious. But I couldn't laugh. I couldn't forget. Her betrayal wasn't about cheating or lies. It was about disrespect, about the repeated disregard for my feelings, about choosing a night of drunken freedom over the trust and love we had built together. I realized then that love alone wasn't enough to keep this marriage alive. Trust, respect, and mutual care were just as important. And those had been broken, maybe beyond repair. I didn't leave immediately. I tried counseling, tried conversation, tried to rebuild what was broken. But the pattern continued. Excuses, disregard, selfish choices. And eventually, I understood that staying meant sacrificing my dignity, my sanity, and my self-respect. Walking away was the hardest choice I ever made, but it was also the only choice that allowed me to preserve the sense of self I had nearly lost in the chaos of her betrayals. I moved into a small apartment, focused on rebuilding my life, my routines, my peace. Years later, I look back at that night not with anger, but with understanding. That moment, the drunken stumble, the crawling, the disregard, was a symptom of a deeper problem, and leaving was my way of reclaiming the life, respect, and peace that I deserved. Love doesn't make you blind to betrayal, and sometimes the hardest lessons are learned not from grand gestures, but from the quiet, painful moments that reveal the truth about who someone truly is.